This video is for my friend FF. This is number 2 about personal hygiene as it relates to food safety. First, we can start with the vocabulary that you're practicing. The first word is mentioned. Mention or mentioned in the past. Mentioned means to say or to tell. I mentioned to my husband that we should go watch a movie this weekend. I mentioned it, I told him, I said it. Mentioned. Investigated. Remember, this word is when we think about Sherlock Holmes with his magnifying glass, looking and seeing. Investigated. Discover or discovered. Discover or discovered is to find. Like, say you're looking for a pen and you can't find a pen, so you go in Mofty's room and you discover that your pens are there. Obviously. Obviously. Obvious means that it is true, it's easy to see. So we might say that because Mofty loves pens, it is obvious that your pens were in his bedroom. Neglect or neglecting. Neglect is to forget or to not take care of something. So if you neglected to clean Mofty's bathroom, then you would not clean it for a while. You would neglect to clean it. Designate, designated. Designate, this we talked about a designated sink to wash. This would be a special sink that was just for washing dishes and not for anything else. Designated. Lather. Lather is where we take soap and rub it into our hands and create a lot of bubbles. Lather. Lather from soap. Faucet. Faucet. Faucet is the where the water comes out in the sink. Contaminate. 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 Contaminate is when germs or pathogens pass from one surface to another. So one surface is dirty or contaminated with pathogens, and so say we cut raw meat on one surface and contaminate that surface with pathogens, and then we put vegetables on that surface. That means that the vegetables are contaminated. The last word is task. Task, task. And task is a job to do or a thing to do. So you have tasks to do if you're supposed to, or say you give Mofty tasks to do. Say Mofty's task is to practice his reading. He has to bust the dishes after dinner. He has to put away his toys. So he has 3 tasks to do, 3 jobs to do. Okay, now we're getting into this big long lesson that we did. So I'm going to read through these sentences and then also give you time to repeat them so you can practice. This is about washing hands. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with hot water. So repeat. Wash your hands for 20 seconds with hot water. Use soap and make a lather. Scrub your hands and arms for 10 to 15 seconds. Clean under your fingernails and between your fingers and rinse with warm water. Dry them using a single-use paper towel. Use a paper towel to turn off the faucet and to open the restroom door so you don't contaminate them again. Next section is when. When do we wash our hands? Wash your hands when you start work. Wash them after using the restroom. Wash after touching your hair, face, body, apron, or clothing. Wash your hands before and after handling meat, chicken, and seafood. Wash after, oh, this is our big, long list. Okay, big list. Wash after taking out the garbage, sneezing, coughing, eating, drinking, smoking, or chewing gum or tobacco, handling money, after using chemicals, after touching service or aquatic animals. Remember, service animals are dogs that come in because someone has permission to have them for, maybe the person is blind and needs a service dog, or maybe the person can also have a service dog if they have anxiety or depression. And then aquatic animals are lobsters, anything in a fish tank, clams, seafood. Okay, next page. Wash your hands if you leave the kitchen and return. Wash your hands before putting on gloves. Whenever you are starting a new task. After you clean tables or bus dirty dishes. Whew, okay, that list is done. Now we're ready for the sink. Where do you wash? Of course, you wash in the sink. The sink should have hot and cold water. Single-use paper towels or dryer. The sink should have a soap dispenser and a garbage can. And then we saw that a sink doesn't need to have lotion or a hand sanitizer. Those are optional. In the sink, don't dump dirty water. Don't use sinks to prep food. Don't use sinks to wash dishes. Don't use the hand washing sink to wash dishes. Don't touch ready-to-eat food with bare hands. And this is gloves. Last part, gloves. Gloves must be single-use gloves. Wash your hands before putting on gloves. Change your gloves when they are dirty, torn, when you finished a task, when you're prepping food for a guest with a food allergy. Change your gloves after you touch a telephone. We're done with Module 2. Congratulations.